Hello and welcome to this HitFilm Express tutorial. My name is Alec Ward and I'm the Museum Development Officer for Digital and Communications. So in this tutorial I'm going to be taking you through how to edit a video using the free to download HitFilm Express video editor. So the first thing you want to do once you've downloaded HitFilm Express is to click File and then click New. These are just the sort of recommended project settings. You don't have to worry too much about these because when we insert the video clips that we'll be using, we'll ask the editor to set itself to fit the settings of the video that we recorded. Now I'm going to be editing video that I've already recorded, and I've also already edited one or two of the clips just to make this tutorial a little bit quicker. You can download those clips if you want from the description below. There's a link to get those files. Obviously you can use your own clips as well. So it's entirely up to you if you just want to watch this video to get an idea of how to use the editor, or you can download the clips and edit along with me at the same time. So once HitFilm Express is loaded up, you'll be greeted with the editor view. So here we have all of the different tools and aspects of the program that you'll be using to edit your video. So the most important thing is probably down here, and this is the editor section. So this is where you will be working with the media that you're inserting. So the media that you can use predominantly will probably be video, audio files, as well as images. Here is your timeline. So you can drag that along and it will basically take you to that specific point in the video. Obviously at the moment we don't have any video files in there, so that doesn't change. You've also got some tools down here, but I generally use right click for all of the different tools, and I'll go through those once we start bringing in videos. Here is your viewer, and this is where you'll be able to watch the clips that you're editing whilst you edit them. You'll also be able to play it so you can see how the video is looking as you're going through. Down here is where you get things like effects, so you can add in video transitions between different clips. There's lots of different things that you can do down here, including the text, but we'll get to text a little bit later. For now, the main effects that you're going to want to be focusing on when we get to it are the transitions for audio and the transitions for video. There's lots of different things that you can do with HitFilm. It's quite a powerful tool, but in general, if you're just trying to make sort of basic but slightly more professional looking videos, you'll only really need to be using a few of the different tools. So let's get started by importing the video clips that we want to be using. That will then bring you up all of the different files that you can use. I'm using a Mac, so it might look slightly different to yours, but in general it's the same tools. I'm going to be using files that I've already saved and have put in a folder specifically for this project. I've also gone through and I've made a list on a notepad of the different scenes that I'm using and how that all ties into one video. For me, I find that's how I find it easiest to edit videos. Instead of doing one big long video and chopping it down, I tend to make different clips or different scenes and then mesh them all together to make one video. For the sake of this training video, we're going to be looking at creating a mock reopening video. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek just because the clips that I've made are very much for the training, not necessarily for the video itself. So the first video that I'm going to bring in is the intro. So I click on that and I click open, and then that will put the video down on the left here in our media section. Now something you might want to do is to arrange your media by folder. So you can create a new folder down here, and then you can type that, call that folder whatever you like. I'm going to call it video clips. And then I'm also going to create another folder for audio clips. And for me, that just helps to keep everything neat and together so that it's easier to get the media when I need to use it. So I'm now going to take this intro video and I'm going to drag it down into the editor. And then once you drag it and let go, that then puts the video into the editor. And as you can see here, it's split the video into two. So you've got the video here, and then you've got the audio here. Now, if I wanted to, say, delete the audio, but keep the video, I can do a quick trick here. I can right click on the video file and I can click unlink. And what that will do is unlink the audio from the video. So I can now delete one without deleting the other. For now, I don't want them removed, I want to keep them together, so I'm not going to unlink. But that is a useful trick to know when it comes to importing video that you don't want to include the audio of. So as you can see, as I zoom in, the files get bigger or smaller, so you can see that I can drag through that, and that will show you different parts of your video. Down here you can see the audio levels, and you can increase those or decrease those with this bar. Generally, I tend to leave them where they are. A handy trick is that when you're viewing your videos, you can watch down here on the right, and that tells you the levels of your audio. So when they start getting a little bit too high, they go from sort of greeny yellow to orange or red. If they're orange or red, that means that the video is too loud, and you can potentially turn it down a little bit. Although that might be something that you want to do when you're actually recording it, is to think about the sound levels. So now I've got my first video clip, I'm going to import my next clip. And my next clip is going to be me queuing one, and I want to drag and drop that into the viewer or the editor. And did you see how there I made sure that the two videos clip together? If I was to leave it here and I was to play the video, we would have a black space here with no video or no sound, because there's basically a period of time where there's no media. To make sure that you've got a seamless clip with no breaks, you want to make sure that all of your clips click together. So you can see as I drag it across there, it turns red. That means that it's clicked together. And again, you can move your way around the tracker with the bar at the bottom here. You can zoom in and out with the bar down here. So there's a period of this video that I want to cut out. Obviously, there's me getting into shot and getting ready. And there's me walking. So the first thing I want to do is remove the section of me getting into shot. So I'm going to line it up until I've just started walking, so you can just about see the edge of my foot. And this is where I'm going to remove the first section of the clip, which is what I don't want. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to slice. I'm going to click on the section that I don't want, and I'm going to delete it, either using delete or backspace, or right clicking and cutting or removing. So now I know that this is where I want my clip to start. I'm going to drag it back across and link it up so that now they're joined. There's also a point in this clip where I want to bring in another shot. So as I'm walking, I've got another shot where I highlight the lines. So first I'm going to unlink the video and the audio. I'm going to remove the audio. So now all I've got is the video, because I'm going to add in some voiceover which I've already recorded. Now I'm going to import another clip. And I'm going to import queuing and mask 2. I'm going to drag that in. And for now, I'm just going to pop it there. Because what I want to do is insert this clip into the middle, but first I want to make sure that it's the right length. So if we just watch it quickly and fast forward, you can see that there was a couple of different takes, and I only want to use one of them, the best one, which I remember as the second clip. So we want to go just as I start jumping, or slightly before, so about there. Again, we're going to slice, we're going to delete the beginning, then we're going to go to the end. And I don't want that because, that's extra footage that we don't need. So I'm going to stop it just as I land, which is about there. I'm going to slice, and I'm going to delete the end, so that now I've just got my clip. So if we just watch that, it's just a video of me jumping. Boop. Might just increase the length of that slightly. And there I just use the tool. You see this green bracket? You can use that to increase or decrease the clip, even if you've already cut chunks out. Then I'm going to unlink the audio from the video, delete the audio. I'm going to leave that there for a sec, and I'm just going to go back to my original clip, and I'm going to chuck out the end there. So we want to keep the thumbs up, so split that, delete the end. And then we want to add in me jumping over the lines. Let's say just before I've stopped walking, so there. We'll slice it. So now we've got 2 chunks of our video. Drag it over a little bit. And then we're going to drag in the other clip. So we can just move that over, clip that together, bring that in, clip that there. So now we've got 2 scenes in one video. So there's me walking, don't forget to follow the lines, back to me walking, don't forget your mask, thumbs up. So now I'm going to import the audio clip. I did some voiceover for this clip, so I'm going to import the media. Drag that onto the timeline or the editor. Now I'm going to clip it, but I am going to have to remove some stuff. First I'll take out the section I want to remove. So again, right click, slice, remove the chunk you don't want. And we want to remove this bit here. So slice, remove the end. Let's have a quick listen. Whenever you're queuing, don't forget to follow the lines and keep your social distance. And don't forget your mask. Okay, obviously that is a little bit too short to fit with the clips. So what we're going to do is break it up into 2 sections. So this is where I say, don't forget your mask. So let's split that up. So now we've got 2 separate files. I'm going to put that close to here and we'll pop that around there and have a quick look. Whenever you're queuing, don't forget to follow the lines and keep your social distance. And don't forget your mask. That feels a little bit slow, so I think what we'll do is speed this clip up. So what you're going to do is right click on the clip, go to speed/duration. At the moment it's 100%, which is obviously the original speed. If I was to do it, 50%, that would be slower. So we're going to go for 200%. We're going to do it twice as fast and we'll see how that looks. Because I've separated the audio, because there's no audio attached, it's only going to speed up the video. It won't speed up the audio, so let's quickly watch that. And don't forget your mask. That was a bit quick at the end there with the thumbs up. So all I want to do is just take that small scene where I'm giving the thumbs up, I'll cut the video, and I'll duplicate it. So copy, and then I want to paste it here. And then I'm going to change the speed so it's a little bit slower. So let's do that on 60, not 600, 60. And now let's quickly watch that. It might be a little bit too long. There we go. Perfect. Now the next thing I want to do on this video is add some text, and with HitFilm it's actually quite easy. All you have to do is go into the viewer and click the A, and then you can click on the video wherever you want the text. I want it to be down here underneath me, and I'm just going to type for added emphasis, don't forget your mask. Once you're happy with how the text looks, you can also edit it down here. So you've got the font, the size, the color. I did all this before I started typing, but obviously if you want to change it, you just highlight it. And then if you want, you can change the font. I'm going to leave it with Arial for this video. And if you want to move its position, you can with the mouse icon just there. I'm going to pop it just here. And you'll notice that the text has now been added to a new video pane. So video 1, below, sorry, this one, is where all of our footage is. Video 2 is now where the text is going to be. Obviously I don't want the text to be that long, so I'm just going to trim it and cut it so that it lasts until the end of the video clip, which is about there. And then again, you right click, slice, delete the bit you don't want. And then that's added in. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to make your text a little bit more engaging. something that's slightly more advanced than HitFilm Express, but not hugely complicated once you know how to do it. So just for now, we're going to delete this text here. And what we're going to do is create a new composite shot. Now, composite shots let you do lots of different things, and one of the things that it enables you to do is animating text. So we're going to type our text in here, and we're going to put "don't forget to wear your mask." For the sake of this, we're just going to turn it to white so that we can actually see it. So "don't forget to wear your mask," that's the text that we're going to have. Now what you can do is you can plot how the text moves through your video. So I'm going to have it so that it kind of does like a up and down movement. You can do it however you want. I'm going to zoom out slightly on the viewer just so that I can see where the text is moving. So I'm going to start the text over here, so it's technically out of frame because everything in this black box is going to be in frame. Down here, this is where your text file is. I'm going to drop that down, and then I'm going to choose transform. And down here is the different things that you can do. So you could scale it, so you can make it bigger or smaller, you can rotate it. But what we want to do is position. So by clicking that, you can see here that on this tracker, which is just, a length of time, I'm going to zoom in slightly just so that there's less time on show. I've put a point here. So this is telling the program that this is where I want the text to start. Now I want the text to move slightly, so I'm just going to move it 1 second further in time. So that's about 1 second there. Again, with the arrow, I'm going to move my text and I'm going to put it into the position that I want it. So I'm going to want it about here. And can you see it's now added a new track point? So again, I'm going to move another second in time to about here. And I'm going to move the text again so that now it's sort of back to where it started on the opposite side. So about here. Because I've done it quickly, this isn't going to look perfect. But now we can watch it back and we can see how that moves. So I press play and then we go straight over. And there we go. That was a bit quick, but you can make it slower and faster in the editor itself. So now that that's all done, you can see it's now saved as a composite shot here. We're going to leave this open just in case I want to make any edits. But now if I click back on the editor, you can see this is where our video is. I'm now going to drag that composite shot in. I'm going to put it back onto video 2 where our text originally was. And now if we click play, you can see the mask, the text just flying over the screen there. So this is about where it goes out of shot. So I'm going to delete that. I can now go back to the composite shot. I can click on the text. I'm going to zoom out a bit just so that I can highlight all of the text. I'm going to change the color so that it's black so that it will appear a bit better on the video. Now if we go back to the video, the text should be black. Can you see there as it's moving through? That's a bit quick for me, so I'm going to change the speed, but I'm going to change it here because it'll be a bit easier. So at the moment it's on 100%. I want it to be slower, so I want it to be, let's say 50% of the speed. So that will double the length. So now if we press play, don't forget your mask. See, it moves a little bit slower. Obviously, if you were doing this, with a little bit more time, you'd probably want it to come into shot and then come out of shot. And again, you could do that in the composite shot. So that's how, if you wanted to, you'd add some animation to your text. So I'm now just going to add in the rest of the clips until we've got a full video, and then we'll go through the transitions. So for the sake of speed, I've now added in the rest of the clips so that the video is almost complete. But what I thought I'd do is really quickly show you how you can add a logo to the video. And then I'll also show you how you can make that logo fade in and fade out. So again, you go to your documents, find where your logo is, insert it as a media file. And then again, you're going to want to put it where you want the logo to come in. So if you want your logo to just sort of, be in the shot, you can pop it there into the second video track a bit, and then you can change the duration for how long it will be there. I'm going to say I want it there for about let's say for 2 seconds. And then you can resize it here. You want to hold shift so that you can keep it at its original dimensions. And then just, pop it wherever you fancy. So now that's just gonna, be there for the whole. We're really looking forward to welcoming you back to our museum, but don't forget the length of time. You can see how it just disappeared. If you wanted to make it so that it was a little bit more flashy, so that it sort of faded in, faded out, we'll do it the same way that we did it for the text. You create a new composite shot. In the composite shot, you drag in your file, size it to however big you want it. So again, hold shift, put it where you want it. So I want it up in that corner there. Now again, where we did the movement in transform, we want opacity. So here we want it so that it's 100% as soon as it comes in, and then after, let's say about 2 seconds, again we want it at 100%. And then a little bit further in, we want it to go from 100 to 0. So now you have a slow fade. It's a little bit too slow for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the length that the logo is visible for. It's still a little bit too slow, so a little bit less. That'd be fine. Again, now that's saved as composite shot 2, so you go to the editor, go to composite shot 2, drag it into where you want it. Now I'm going to cut out a good chunk of the first half, because as you can see it's quite a long shot. So I'm going to cut it out there, slice, cut, drag it all the way back to the beginning. We're really looking forward to welcoming you back to our museum. So now we've got that logo in the top left until it starts to disappear. So the last thing you might want to do is add some transitions, and you can find those down there in the effects section, also where you found the text. So for video transitions, we're going to go video, and I quite like to use fade to color. That transition will basically fade in between the two clips, and you basically just click it, drag it and drop it over the top of the two clips that you want to fade in between, and then you can use the green brackets to increase and decrease the length of the fade. And you can also do the same sort of fade using the transitions for audio. So if you go back and scroll to transitions audio, fade is the one that I usually use. And again, drag and drop it in between the two clips, increase and decrease depending on how long you want that fade to be. The last thing you might want to do is add in some music. So again, if we go to our media, click import, I've got a music file ready to go, one that I downloaded off of YouTube through its free music platform. So I chose the file SafetyNet, which is copyright and attribution free. And then once you're happy, and once it's synced, you can then add it in. Now, similar to how when we added in the composite shot, it added in a new video track, we want to add in a new audio track. So we click Insert Track. I'm going to rename it to Music, just to make it easier to remember what it is. And then you can drag and drop as you would normally. Now, you might not want the music in the entire video. You might only want it in sort of the beginning or the end. For me, I'm going to have it coming in from the very beginning. So again, I'm going to slice the audio, remove that, drag it across all the way to the end of my video, which is here. Line it up, slice it off. Now I'm going to decrease the music level so that it's not too loud, so that you can hear it in the background. Don't forget, there's some rules that you need to follow when you do come to see us. Whenever you're queuing, don't forget to follow the lines. That sounds good. We've done everything that we want to do to this video. We've gone through some of the basics of adding, cutting, trimming, slicing. We've also looked at overlaying text and overlaying images, and then how you can animate those. So I think that's more than enough to get started with HitFilm. The final thing to do is to export your video so that you can save it as a file to then upload to whatever platform you fancy. So you want to do contents. That'll then add it to the uploader. Now again, you can select different types here. I would suggest leaving it on what it was set on. So for me it's YouTube MP4. Once you're ready and you're happy to start exporting it, you can choose where the output is going to be saved. So I've got mine saved in this folder here. Once you're happy that it's going to be saved where you want it to be saved, you just click start exporting and then it will start doing the job. And then once it's done, it will say finished, and the file will be saved in the folder that you selected. So that's a really quick introduction to using HitFilm Express as a video editing tool. It's a really powerful tool. You can do a huge amount with HitFilm Express, and you can even purchase extra add-ons to do more things like special effects. I would say that for basic video editing, HitFilm Express is really good, and you don't really need to purchase any of the add-ons. If you're looking to do some more interesting things, there's plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube. Otherwise, hopefully this has been more than enough for you to get started and get to grips with the program. So thank you very much for watching, and good luck.